P2H is live on Twitch, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, United States. It's May 15th, 2018. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty well rested. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm ready to start my day off right. Gonna cause some havoc. I've been enjoying DeadEYE quite a bit, and getting more out of it now that I've changed out the chest piece. I wasn't getting much out of the 6-piece bonus. I'm sure a lot of people don't. I think Ray Barrett's chest piece is quite good. But what we're going to be doing today, gonna stick with the classy DeadEYE.
What are you waiting for?
For the most part. I mean, I've got a Lone Star out
Readings
here.
indicate this area
I may
is
bust
safe.
out from time to time.
Incoming supply drops detected.
But other than that, I think we're good to go. This is what it looks like right now. Ray Barrett's chest piece, and we've gone into skill haste. We have a little bit of health on kill here and there. Both on the gloves and the mask. But, hey, let me tell you. It's skill haste on the chest piece. We got skill haste on the holster. And I'm enjoying the fact that we've got crit damage on both the backpack and knee pad. You get a lot more damage output, base damage, flat damage output with this setup than you do when you're trying to land those headshots. I'm pretty sure most people aren't landing those headshots for this 6-piece bonus. So, it all works out. Hey Rob, what's up? This is actually one of the builds that will probably transfer pretty well for your level 29 shindig. The only other thing to do would be to switch out any other piece that you'd like to do. It'd likely be the holster, in my case. If you like using tactical advance, make this a nimbly bimbly build. Put that nimble on there. Another chest piece, since there's no exotics, I would suggest using this guy, or not Reckless. I just had him somewhere. I just had him. Where'd he go? It's the third bonus on Ray Barrett's, the 10%. It's robust, right here. This is the guy you're looking for, Dirty Rob. I even have it rolled for health on kill, because I was going crazy with the health on kill on this build. I had 15% base on the, just the gear, and then I had sustained on one of the guns. So I was getting 21% every time I downed a guy, which is pretty damn good on DeadEYE, because you're downing everybody. Everybody's down when you're shooting. So, robust is quality. Quality. The only thing is, if you're going to go robust, it might make more sense to get away from electronics, dump more into stamina, make this more like a 5K. Hey, what's up, Skybass? So, your stats would probably end up lining up something like a 7, 5, 3. I think there's like 1,000 points difference between classified and the old meta. I could be wrong. I get my math wrong quite a bit, but my main point is that firearms will be your main, and then stamina will be your secondary stat. But it's relatively easy to proc those bonuses. And I do enjoy this sustained, because it's a lot easier to proc than predatory. 4K stamina. I think that's the way to go. And if you're gonna do DeadEye, deadly sustained, and then the only reason I got even electronics at all is forceful. Oh, you're going with forceful? Forceful's tough, because isn't that based on your signature skill? I think I have that in the inventory as well. Vigorous, rapid, forceful. Yeah. Oh, only high ends. Yeah. Signature skill is active. See, forceful. I mean, forceful is cool because it's 15%. Robust is a flat 10 if you're using smart cover, and you're definitely using smart cover if you're DeadEye, because you have to if you want the hundo. If you want all HEs, I guess that would mean... Yeah, but the thing is, robust is only going to help you if your stamina is high enough to benefit from it. I mean, if that's the only problem is, and plus robust. The other issue with it is I think it's multiplicative, so it's not as good. If it was an additive bonus, it would be way better, like just a flat 10% on top of everything. But I think Marco's style had already tested that and figured out that it was not as helpful. But if you combine that with some of the other bonuses you can get on some other talents in the gear, the high-end gear, that would be swell. I guess the only other piece of gear you'd be looking at to associate that with would be the holsters. So I know that there's a sturdy, I think, is the one on the holster you can get.
Supply drops have expired.
I think that's like 4 seconds on cover. I don't know if you do a cover-to-cover move if that transfers with you. If that counts as staying on cover. It's been a while since I've used high ends, so especially holsters. Because right now, holsters, you take such a stat hit.
Transmissions jammed.
It's like 130 points each stat.
Backup activated. System rebooted.
So it's kind of tough to justify the holster. You can justify any other piece of gear, right? I could justify doing the championship knee pads. I could do a Pharaoh's, or even any of the high ends. I could do. I was running robust on the chest piece because I wanted that flat armor, but then I had to switch to my oh hey,
shit out of me, dude.
hey, no worries. I was just coming out the checkpoint.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just roaming around. Fuck, I'm done with these missions. I'm getting my ass kicked too much in them.
I got you. But when it comes to
a new agent is joining your
some
team.
late game stuff, the those
missions are just
the high ends aren't too bad. You can still justify them, even at level 30. Just depends on what build you're on. Certain builds, it makes it difficult to make that call, for sure. Like Striker, you need that 6-piece bonus for sure. You want the heal. But Fire Crest, I think you can get away with losing the fire bullets if you want to run the MDR, right? Because MDR doesn't benefit from a 2% proc chance on hit for fire. Yeah, I imagine it feels quite similar. The I have my concerns about splitting the player base over several dark zones because of
Area secure.
the situation with what happened to survival.
Do you even bother with the drops anymore?
I do. I mean, I look at them. I pay attention to what they are. I'm looking for specific ones.
What are
There's
you looking for?
I'm looking for mods. I'm looking for classifieds, high ends, certain high ends right now. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, I'm mostly after mods myself, but you know, I can get them just as easy running the missions than I can in here and try to extract.
Yeah, it tends to be more difficult in here, to be honest.
And it's no different. I mean, it'd be different if these were really higher level things, much more,
Yeah,
you know, important, but they're not.
Ez is not wrong.
Get off our turf. Let's go.
Ez has a good point right there. Anyone who wants to come into the dark zone really could get just about anything that you can find in here, anywhere else. There used to be things in the dark zone you could only find in the dark zone. It was trying to get those PvE players to push into the dark zone, give it a shot. Same thing for the PvP players who would only exclusively play like the AV8s and whatnot. Nifty. What was I saying? Survival.
And caches. I will grab a steel cache.
So, I have my concerns, Rob, that in moving into the level 29 servers, that we are going to spread ourselves too thin. Oh no, he'll be alright. Look at his gear, he's optimized. He's level, what, 290? He's A-okay. I think he has all the gear he actually needs to. Yeah, it's not like he's gonna lose anything. There's like very specific gear that this guy's looking for. He's not gonna mind at all. Really, the key here is that he's running a basic Seeker mine, and so he's a PvE player at heart. So there's a reason he struggles in the dark zone, and it's that he's not taking the time to adjust his builds for the dark zone, which is PvE VP.
Come here. I got 40 fucking keys. Come here.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm here for you. Get those points. I think it's a point every time you open it up now. There you go.
Really?
Yeah, did it say in the bottom left? Spec Ops mask. Let me see.
Oh, I get to, yeah, bonus 1. Okay, yeah.
Enduring. Hey, this was my shit on
I got like 40 fucking keys.
Nomad.
So
Those 4 pieces. Last health segment. Continuously regenerate up to the full segment. That's potentially decent now. But the thing is, if you're only running the 4-piece Nomad, long con with the with the single seeker mine? I don't think so, my guy. I don't think so. But there is another player out here farming for sure. They just did greenhouse. Maybe I can pick them up, get another mule. Oh, somebody just did greenhouse, my guy. Let's see who's out here. We may have to go to the boiler and move our way southwest.
I don't think there's many people in here today.
Yeah, but this thing's down. See?
Sure as hell is, ain't it?
The thing is, there's not too many people who play as dirty as some of the dirtiest in the game. I really haven't met anybody who's flipped. Like, I've seen rope cutters. Definitely seen more rope cutters lately. People have been getting into the biz, and I appreciate that. But, flipping's a whole different monster altogether. People don't play that mechanic at all. The, adding, dropping, kicking, betraying. Not some people normally get into. We'll do the tunnel. I think that'll keep us out of trouble. Well, there's AOB. PvP server. Sick.
God quits. Stops running. I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Unsurprising. Oh, yeah. Let me finish my thought on level 29 servers. So I have a slight issue with spreading out the player base too thin. It worries me when we talk about, oh yeah, definitely don't trust anybody. But it worries me when we do stuff like, I don't know if you know what happened to Survival, but when they added those PvE servers and they changed it so that solo players can't play against groups, like, as soon as they divided up everyone so much, like, that entire genre, that entire game mode essentially died. Like, whenever I play Survival, man, that thing is empty. And that's what I worry about when people talk about doing the level 29 thing. Is that it's kind of a self-imposed
Fucking operator's mask. Are you kidding me?
division of the player base that's gonna eventually kill the Dark Zone, just like the same methods killed Survival. And it worries me. But I understand the motivation. Like the current level 30 meta. Here's a box here's a box for you right in the middle. You see it? The motivation to move to level 29 is huge right now because the striker meta is absurd at level 30. So I get it. If you're sick of watching Nomad, Predator, and Striker run around in the Dark Zone indefinitely, and you want to use more than those three builds, I mean, I can understand it. You know, you want the high ends to work. Again, you want them to be worthwhile. But I don't necessarily agree that that's the move to make.
Did you get this one? Come here.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
I was right
okay.
behind you when you opened it.
Oh, okay.
The I want to say that we haven't finished fighting against Stryker and its affiliates in the Dark Zone yet, right? Like, look, I'm on DeadEye with a Barrett's chest piece. Like, I really want to compete legitimately against this current meta with all these other builds. Like, I think Lone Star is still competitive. I still think DeadEye is competitive. Firecrest, the D3 and Final Measure are also competitive. It's just that you have to build them to combat those three builds, and I understand that it's frustrating. But, you know, we have to take back our Dark Zone. And I don't think moving to the level 29 zone is going to solve that. I think as soon as you start hard countering everyone else's builds, those meta builds, just hard countering. Like, make them as miserable as you possibly can in the Dark Zone, right? Like, do not let Stryker go unpunished. Do not let Predator go unpunished. I don't even think that's really the case, Sky. Like, it's difficult right now if you want to snipe to go up against a Stryker who's running a lightweight M4, because they can essentially snipe you with that lightweight M4 because of their stability bonus, right? There's a reason no one's sniping right now. It's because you may as you may as well be running an AR, right? On Stryker, because it's the same damn thing. Oh, there's the boss. Here, I'm gonna do my die move real quick. Eat shit, shitties. But that's, I mean, it's part of the...
Oh, fucking snipers light me up.
It's part of the meta is, you know, countermeasures. You move that bar every time you come up with a new countermeasure, and the problem is no one has really found something to effectively shift the meta away from Stryker. And it's because it's just so damn absurd. It's absurd. But I think DeadEye is a strong choice. I think Lone Star is a strong choice. Anything that front loads damage, surprises, because the thing is, Stryker's based on a ramp.
You got a bird inbound on your position.
It's a damage ramp up. So if you can front load your damage so much that you've killed them before the fight's even started for them, you essentially win every fight you have with them. I'll tell you what, if I can cover to cover, use my first aid, kill you in 2-3 hits, I think I'm gonna beat you and your Stryker stacks, because you won't be able to stack that quick. I've got similar options with my smart cover. It gives me stability and accuracy, so I can do it at range. So, I mean, it depends. You have to, but the thing is, you have to think about it when you're making your build, when you're picking your weapons, when you're picking your talents. You have to be actively thinking about what are you gonna see in the Dark Zone. You know, it's not, it's not enough to come out here you're not running a dumb striker build, right? You have to. You can't just throw anything on it and make it work. You're running a DeadEYE. You're running a Firecrest.
Beginning item
Like,
extraction.
you have to legitimately think about what you're putting on it and how you're gonna play it. Like Firecrest, is it a 5-piece or a 6-piece? Like, are you gonna have fire bullets, or are you gonna emphasize the turret damage and the MDR damage, essentially?
Confirmed. Cargo secured.
It's very important. But people don't want to think that hard. They just want to run Predator or Nomad to counter it. It's not, because it uses the same mechanics, the same talents, the same meta, same house, the same lightweight M4. Who could blame them, really? Like, when every other, you know, streamer in the biz, like, uses the same damn build
Package is secure.
and tells them the same damn thing. Like, those players have influence, and then the whole community follows behind them, lock and step. It's horseshit. Fight the power. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I support the movement to protest the bullshit meta. I do not support the move to spread out our player base.
Get those safe house, some of the first aid kits.
I think that's where I'm going with this. It makes me sad because we haven't fought the good fight yet. I feel like I don't think we've done enough, and if we spread the player base, the dark zone is going to be very, very empty for both sides, for the level 29 players and for the people at level 30. It'll inevitably suffer the same fate as survival. Once we hit a contamination event, I'm going to flip this guy for all his greens.
Hey, get over here before someone
It's gonna be nice. Oh, Caillou's on. Hey, look at all that stuff. PvP as fuck on this server. But I mean, you see how conflicted I am? Like, I care that everyone wants things to change, and I want them to change as well. I would hope that the moves we make would be
I'll take a piss real quick. Hold up.
less detrimental to the dark zone. It concerns me. But I don't know, Dirty Rob. But it's a tough call, and I can't fault you if you do go to the level 29 dark zone, because it's probably more fun. Be honest with you. You get to play with all the high ends again, right? That's a way more fun meta. You know, you're not having to struggle to deal with all this shit. Oh, you're using the stream as motivation.
Okay, I'm back.
I may or may not proc your status. Be careful. my god, I missed.
We're now marked
Going
as
in.
rogue.
30 seconds till extraction complete.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Throw this fire at him. And we're cutting the rope.
15 seconds.
Yeah, don't mind me.
I went rogue. No,
It's okay.
It's all right. I went rogue with
Rifle
it.
pickup. We're scrubbing the op.
You coming to?
Yeah, I cut the rope. No worries. There's nothing on it. There's one green cache. Shame.
What the hell was he doing with one green? What the fuck?
I don't know. I think it was a bait rope, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think I might just run away
not-
from here. So I don't want to be around when they put one thing on the rope just to bait a fight.
Yeah.
It's usually bad news. Go ahead and get out of here.
I
Here's
got some buddies of mine. What we usually do is
here's
just
what
get a
I'll
bunch of shit
say.
killers, kill us.
I
And
support the
enjoy it, yeah.
protest just so that it puts pressure on Massive. I hope that they take action soon so that you come back to level 30 swiftly, post haste. But
Confirmed.
I
Rogue
think
status
it's
no longer
important
active.
that players do solve problems in the game. Do it themselves, not rely on the developers. And if this is a way to put pressure on developers to do something about a problem, because the player's solution is to threaten the Dark Zone with imminent danger, then so be it. If this is what must be done, drastic times, drastic measures. Just know that I fear. Know that I fear the outcome of such a situation. Because I've seen it before, I've heard this talk before, and one of my favorite game modes ever created in any game ever died a horrible and painful death because of it. So I will have mixed feelings on the matter.
I couldn't find the son of a bitch. Like, where the hell's he?
Area secure.
A lot of new players on. Yeah, there's been a lot of new players in general. Just, I feel like a lot of players have finally gotten to level 30, and they've, from what is a regular pace, from the last sale. As the price went down on the vanilla game, they had the crazy sale for the expansions and the base game. So I mean, we're seeing just a huge influx of new players. It's kind of nice. I'm just kind of moving us west and south because there's a lot of players around right now. Yeah. Yep. Right there. There's your answer, Sky. Yeah. Yeah, see, Are you satisfied with what they've got in here now, or are you? Well, I mean, I guess you bought it, so I mean that must mean you like what you've seen so far. Oh my goodness, I'm getting fried. Oh my god, I'm surrounded. So you have the expansions. Is there anything in... Okay. Is there any part of the game in particular that really grabbed you? Was it like the Dark Zone, or was it, you know, one of the expansions, or even just the gameplay in general? Like, what about the Division? Because you didn't pick it up initially. You didn't buy into it, which, admittedly, was probably the smart move. It took him a while to cook it up. So, what about it is working for you right now? Because they, with the expansion, they have the PvP game modes, they have the underground, they have survival. Seemed like an open world MMO, yeah. Yeah, it definitely wasn't what I had thought it would be either. I don't, because you got the season pass. I thought the game was gonna look a lot more like one of the season pass.
Wait a minute, we got one right here. Hold on, come here.
Expansions, which is survival. That's what I thought the game was gonna be, and they didn't take it that way. Honestly, I think survival was the base game. And they were just like, yeah, this is too hardcore. I got you. Understandable. It's, for a lot of people, this game definitely wasn't what they thought it would be. When they were comparing it to other Tom Clancy games, it wasn't what they had anticipated. You know, as far as the mix, like, I had hopes for, you know, some Rainbow Six influence, right? Like, I was hoping for the, you know, if they were gonna do the, you know, RPG aspect, I was kind of hoping they were gonna do the DPS tank and healer thing, except do it through the weight system of Rainbow Six Vegas, right? Because the more armor you threw on in Vegas, the slower your guy would be, but the more durable you would be. But they didn't end up doing that. They went a different route. So, you know, it just,
Area secure.
it depends. Depends on,
Fuck, I'm full. I gotta get rid of some of this shit.
Yeah, I'm headed south. I'm gonna hit this checkpoint just so I can clear my stash out. Yeah. Yeah. The first PvP trailer did it for me. It was, I think it was the Montreal trailer, I think is what it's called. I don't know if it's called the first PvP trailer or the first Dark Zone trailer. I don't know which one they call it, but it's the first time they go into the Dark Zone,
Attention. Supply
and
drops detected.
they showed
Now,
the
there's
rogue
something
mechanic,
I like
and they
to,
showed what could happen
out
at
by
an
myself.
extraction.
Is
And
I'll
I was
follow a
like,
group of
that-
rogues when they go after these supply drops.
That's the
and then
thing I
while they're
want to
engaging,
do.
I'll run in and claim the supply drop.
And I was
Brother Dickie
convinced,
shoved me, but hey, you know.
Attention. Exiting dark zone.
and it took them a while to even get to that point. Like
Now entering a
they
safe
didn't
area.
include rope cuts and things like that until much later. It took them a while. It took them a long while to get to the point where I even had something that looked anywhere close to what I wanted to be doing in this game. So, you know, I feel your pain. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. That one there. Might keep it. I think I have a better one in the bag, though. Already rolled. Dead to me, dead to me. Also, well, that was pretty good. Dead to me. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the argument right now is that we're still in what is considered the beta for the real game. People are still thinking that the Division 2 is going to be the real
Backup activated. System
the real game, because the thing is, the past 2 years, this game has gone through so many revisions. It has been about 4 separate games,
Kilometer from it.
to be honest with you. In feel and gameplay and balance, has felt distinctly different several times over. And oh, there's a drop right next to us. My bad. Sorry, I didn't even see this one.
Hell, I wasn't looking at it either.
So
Readings indicate
it
this
kind of
area
felt
is
like they've been experimenting on us like lab rats, trying to get the perfect mix. And they're getting close. It's just that they had a few times there where they blew it pretty badly. And spectacularly. They lost huge swaths of their player base. And, oh, there we go, contamination event. That's what I was looking for. 1 second. Here we go.
contamination level.
Yeah.
Supply drop secured.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. The PvP in this right now is kind of dictated by some unfortunate balance issues.
My inventory's full again.
Yeah, we're about to have a contamination event too. You're gonna want to get rid of all the junk.
Leaving contaminated area.
Here's the thing about that, Proto, is it shouldn't be that. It just is currently because of a certain gear set in the game being a little overpowered,
Contamination level critical below.
and it's just it can't be helped at the moment.
I maybe glitched here.
Alert. Supply drop currently being claimed. Warning. You've disavowed the division and are on its road.
Oh, crumb. Oh, I dropped some good shit too. But yeah, Striker is pretty much it's essentially blowing it for everybody.
Alert.
Striker has sustain and damage at the same time, and it has both in spades. And the problem is that there isn't but 2 other gear sets that are really comparable. So now you're seeing in the Dark Zone these 3 sets over and over and over again. And it just
Confirmed.
Is the shit you
Rogue
need.
status no longer active.
I mean, you can like it. You can. That's the thing, is like people want the other sets buffed in comparison, but what's more likely to happen? Like, are they gonna buff 13 other sets, or are they gonna nerf the one that's influencing everything else? Like, what's a more likely balance patch? You know, like, and the thing is, I don't really trust them to nail, you know, buffing 13 other gear sets without really blowing it. But I can expect them to nerf just one and get it somewhat right.
System rebooted.
You know what I mean? Like, it's easier just to nerf the one. Oh, be careful. It's still burning. I mean, I would, I appreciate that everyone likes strikers so much. I do. I can appreciate it. But it ain't gonna. You're not gonna help anybody by leaving it as strong as it is, and wishing that everyone else gets a buff all at the same time is asking a lot. They might. I mean, they could. It's possible. You might see it happen. I don't trust it. I don't see it happening, personally. After several iterations of this game, living through it, I just don't believe it. I just can't see it happening. And the thing is, I can't. It's only a minor adjustment. A minor adjustment to Striker. I'm not talking about, like, chop it off at the knees nerf, right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing everyone's real scared of right now, is like making Striker inoperable. That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about nerfing Striker.
Now leaving the
It's like,
contaminated
no,
area.
we just need to make it so it's not this overwhelming force that's impossible to deal with. It has too much going for it. It has 30% stability. It has damage that it stacks that it keeps. It keeps those stacks essentially indefinitely because of the way the Dark Zone operates. And then you have the additional situation where those stacks are healing that Striker. So sustain damage, and then enemy armor damage. So PvE players are getting an easy mode, you know, solo build essentially through their legendaries. There's a reason they have all these, oh, I'm solo running legendaries right now. Look at me run on my Striker. And it's like, no shit, it's a Striker. Enemy armor damage, stability, sustain damage. It's the perfect gear set. Ain't no other gear set you're running right now, unless you're a fool. And believe me, I'm a fool. I'm on DeadEYE. Check that shit out, though. Hey, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. And this is what I'm talking about. DeadEYE. I'm not involved in that fight, but check me out. Being a son of a gun. Well, now the stuff's loading in. Keep moving, Flocka. As soon as you... Uh-oh, they see me. Hide! Evasive maneuvers! Evasive maneuvers! They're gonna run past me. I don't think it's really the other build's fault that Striker is overpowered. I think it's Striker's fault. I think it's the devs need to fix Striker. You can't... You're asking a lot to have every other build in the game buffed. Well, no, the thing is Striker is so focused on being the dominant. Like they put training wheels and everything on that build so hard,
Warning.
so heavy.
Readings indicate this area is contaminated.
Oh, I'm not gonna get this one. They're clean. I got one. That's sufficient. I wasn't even involved in that fight. I'll take it.
Exiting the contaminated area.
But I suppose you're right in some ways, right? Striker's one of the most focused builds in that it's designed to be the most basic build to understand, to run. It's essentially the training build for any new player. Like, it's the easiest thing to run. But that shouldn't instantly make it the strongest build in the game because it's easy, right? There's a problem when easy becomes the best. It shouldn't be that way. So there's... and you know what? You might have a point. But I think it's not the builds. Like, I'm running DeadEYE right now. This build's also easy to understand, and it's very straightforward, and it's put together very well because it's dedicated to a single cause, right? Crits, marksman rifle damage, bullet stability. This is all about dealing that damage at range. Lots of it. Ain't nobody running it right now, though. Because you have to be on cover to get the full benefit of it.
Hazard levels normal.
And see, no one can take that
This area is
debuff.
safe.
Because that's a mobility debuff. There's certain builds with certain aspects to them that as soon as you have any amount of debuff, anything that anything that mitigates their strength in any way whatsoever, it becomes impossible for them to be run. Does it though? I can fry a Striker on the DeadEYE. I can do it on a Lone Star. But the thing is, you have to do it. I do it at 30 meters or more. The problem is the 1v1 situation is always 10 meters or less because every bonehead in the game wants to fight them at point blank range. Because everybody's running house and lightweight M4s. Because that's the meta, and that's stupid. You can't beat a Striker. You can't. You just fucking can't. You can't beat a Striker in the responsive range with anything but Striker, Nomad, Predator.
Then again, I'm not going to that.
Transmission
So,
jammed. Proximity
don't
current
do
only.
that.
Backup
Do
activated.
DeadEYE.
System rebooted.
Do Prepared. Win that fight. Do
Warning.
Lone
Now
Star.
leaving the safe area.
You know, win at 15 or more meters out. Burn them.
Oh, motherfucker shotgunning me, you
Or hit them with EMP.
damn it, you got all that
Hit them with that
fucking
crowd
cash.
control. That's why I think Firecrest is still viable if people would give that set a chance. Is Predmark fucking you up? Guess what? There's a whole fucking gear set
well,
dedicated
that's
to
not
exotic damage resistance. It's called Final Measure. And that'll make you tanky as all hell because it also has the same bonus D3 does against elites. Oh, I don't see anybody out here.
Alert, an agent has left your team.
They're still over here though. I don't see them, but they're still here. I want to cut it, but I can't cut it because they shoot me. Oh, buddy. Don't hurt me, I'm nice. Oop, 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 oop. There it is. Give me these. Give me these. Or give me this. That one. There we go. Nifty. That dude essentially just gave me that stuff.
Hostiles moving out of proximity. Contamination levels lowering to acceptable levels.
Well. But, good old. You're not wrong.
Inbound on your position.
I need my tea back though. Get the old sawn off out. I still haven't got on that blue pistol meta yet. I like shotguns too much. Yeah. So, but the thing about the meta right now is that everybody's all about this dignity, respect bullshit. They want to fight, they want to face tank, they want this, that, the other. Be a coward, would ya? Use tactics. There's no reason for you to stand there and face tank a striker. The whole reason they have the dignity respect thing going on is because they win that fight. They want dignity and respect in every fight because they will win if there's dignity and respect involved. Fuck that shit. No dignity, no respect. Drag their shit across the dark zone, run away indefinitely, and snipe them from 100 meters out. They kill them before they even know there's a fight happening.
You got a bird inbound.
That is what you should be doing.
Commencing cargo. Confirmed.
Don't worry about this face tank nonsense that people want to do right now. It's stupid.
Beginning item extraction.
Who can face tank but Predators, Nomad, and Striker? Nobody can. Don't even bother.
We've got the package. "30 seconds till extraction complete."
So I'm trying to make builds to counter the meta right now. Trying to make it so you can apply them to the level 29 servers as well, if that's what people are doing. If that's the decision being made right now, but I think we need to be attacking on both ends. Not only protesting the meta and going to, the level 29 servers, but we need to stay in the level 30 servers and fight the fucking good fight against Striker. Take back this shit. So I'm gonna make countermeasures to Striker, Nomad, and Predator's Mark relentlessly, exclusively. Because I am not gonna lose my Dark Zone the way I lost my survival game mode. I refuse. hell or high water. See these schmucks? These schmucks have been camping a spawn somewhere. 'Cause they haven't turned in their manhunt. They've just been grinding people up. So it's a PvP group that's bored of the PvP game modes. Alex Flocka, that is a common rogue at AOB. So the reason they're in the dark zone just relentlessly killing people is because they're bored with those PvP game modes. They're non-competitive game modes for PvP because, you know, the developers don't understand that they should have the PvP modes to be competitive. They don't get that yet. They'll figure it out at some point. Yeah, Bully Stopper. Yeah, Banshee. That's the only thing it's good for, but it's really good at it. At what, like 20-30% extra damage or something like that?
Proximity coverage.
I haven't built one of those yet.
Backup activated. System rebooted. Caution. Entering dark zone. Warning. You are exiting the safe area.
The thing is, like, this PvP group right here is part of the reason why a lot of PvE players are fed up with the Dark Zone right now. And I don't blame them. It is frustrating getting camped out at a checkpoint, and then you spawn in another one, and then they still come and get you yet again. Like, it's frustrating, and it's stupid. But I also understand the PvP players' gripe. They have nowhere else to go. They have nowhere else to prove that they're, you know, better than other players, which is really all they want to do. They just want to measure their dick hat. And as a fellow competitive player, like, I get that. It's just that the way they go about it is not the right way.
Indications of a manhunt in your vicinity.
Oops. Well, they finally found me. They're going in on the other guy. That's why I was taking shots still. But when the PvP game mode doesn't work, when they can't compete, when they can't measure their dick hats, you end up with a situation where these PvP groups end up in this dark zone, relentlessly killing players who otherwise they wouldn't have anything to do with them. And they think they are showing their superiority, and it's like, you're not. Kill a bunch of randos, disorganized randos. Not really proving anything, so that's shallow in that regard. And then you're also probably pissing off a lot of new players that we really need in this game, turning them off the dark zone for no reason other than, like, your vanity. Like, I get, like, my rope cutting and stuff is, you know, bad for business in a lot of regards, in that way especially. But, you know, I try to keep track of who's new and who's not. You know, because as a rope cutter, I don't benefit from cutting a new person's rope because they're picking up every goddamn thing, right? It doesn't. I don't want the high ends that they're picking up. You know, I don't need the U pumps and the pistols and all the stuff that they keep picking up. The cosmetic items. Not interested. I need the exotics. I need the classifieds, and I need the green gearboxes that all the good players who have everything already are picking up.
Warning. Hostiles detected.
So, like, I have no interest in harming new players, but you know what? The fucking PvP players don't seem to discriminate. They're just like, it's the whole server. I'm killing the whole server now. The whole server dies. It's like, dude, you're not even... Who are you even, like, comparing against? And there's Flocka in the chat talking shit. Like, what is the point? Oh my god.
Warning.
It doesn't
Additional
do any
incoming
good
hostiles
for
detected.
anybody. It's that duelist kingdom. Oh, they're back at it again. I'm gonna shoot them in the back before they can even get manhunt. I don't really want them running off. So Massive has a few things that they really have to fix. I mean, even as this game is the best as it has been in a long time, there's still just lessons they have not learned from other games, even. Like, how do you not know how to make a competitive PvP mode competitive? Like, how do you not understand people want to measure against each other? Because the thing they did with that PvP rank was they turned it into a completion rank, not a competitive rank. It's based on number of games you win and participate in. It's like an EXP bar, much like the Dark Zone. So the Dark Zone rating, you can go all the way up to 99 without ever going rogue by just farming relentlessly. It's just experience. All it is experience. It has nothing to. You're not comparing to anybody. It doesn't tell you how good of a player they are. Doesn't tell you what they do in the Dark Zone. It's just, where are you on this chart? It's meaningless. It's a meaningless number. And you can't have a meaningless number in a competitive game mode. So 4v4, 8v8, those people are frustrated as fuck. They'll still complete it. They'll still hit 99. But they'll be like, man, I've hit 99, now what I do? I completed it. That was the goal. Because I have to be the best at PvP. This is my dick hat. Here's my level 99 dick hat. This is all I got. I came to represent whoever, and this is all that I got out of it. So that's the crazy thing about the Dark Zone to me. Because of the amount of freedom and the fact that it's PvE and PvP at the same time, that whenever there's a problem somewhere in the game, anywhere in the game, right? So there's a problem with the PvP right now, with the matchmaking. So all the PvP players are pissed off and they're showing up in the Dark Zone and taking out their frustration. You would think that's a problem. Some people see the dark zone issue and they're like, oh, it's a problem with the dark zone. It's a problem with the dark zone. We need a PvE dark zone for PvE players so PvP is not forced upon us. And it's like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And two, you're actually seeing a symptom and not the actual problem. Because that's the beautiful thing about the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone, I think, personally, as far as its own mechanics and its own balance, because of the freedom, because it doesn't care about what is fair, because it doesn't care about what is right, it only cares about what's best, what works. All the Dark Zone does is it shows you symptoms of flaws everywhere else. So the PvP doesn't work. Here come all the PvP players to camp checkpoints and blow off steam, right? Because they want to 1v the server and inflate their egos. Because that's all competition is. Here comes another issue. What if one of your gear sets is a little bit overpowered? So there's an imbalance. What if it's a little more than a little overpowered? And it's suddenly running not only your PvE, but your PvP now. Oh, here comes the modern day 1.8.1 meta of Striker, Nomad, Predator's Mark. It's not the Dark Zone's fault. It's the fact that the gear sets are imbalanced. The Dark Zone has done nothing wrong.
30 seconds till extraction complete.
The Dark Zone is incapable of doing anything wrong. All the Dark Zone can do is show you what works and what doesn't.
Ready to bring it on board.
It's a great troubleshooter to me. I feel like
Cargo secured.
that's one of the most underrated things about it. That's why I hope they don't change it too much. I hope that there is some iteration of the Dark Zone, some form of it in the next game. The unfair Wild West idea of the Dark Zone. Groups against solos. Every build, every skill level. I think this is an intense, very unique experience and incredibly important to the division on the whole. So let's not kill the Dark Zone by spreading ourselves out. Open world PvP. Yeah. Well, that's what survival is, if that's what you're interested in doing. You're gonna have to go on Reddit and look for days when they're actually doing it on PC, because that game mode in general is dead if you don't organize the player base to play it. Because of the quote-unquote fixes to the game mode that that the developers made. I mean, by the behest of the community, no doubt. Because it was unfair, boo-hoo. Oh, survival, it was an unfair game mode.
Hey, stupid.
Survival, is essentially, it takes the DZ, well, what it originally did, it took the DZ and it spread it over the entire map, and it made it so that you had to, level up your items by going from, like, the basics to blues, to purples, to high ends. And you had to buy skills from the safe houses. Like it was, and you had to compete with the cold and I believe Septus. Both of those were two elements that were killing you constantly. Septus was the one that made it so you had to finish the game in a certain amount of time. You had to extract the antivirals. But that's the game mode you're thinking of right now. That's what you thought the game was gonna be. That's the game I thought it was gonna be. And but the only way to play that game and have more than just you on the server is to go on a place like Reddit and organize with a bunch of other players and get yourself
Hey, you go in without this?
get yourself on a
I'll be seeing
server,
you again.
an organized server of other players, because it's honestly a fucking dead game mode. Because they decided to make it fair. The DZ's not fair. That game mode was essentially putting the DZ over the entire light and dark zone. And then they decide to fix it. It's like, no. You can't do that.
Activated. System rebooted.
But no.
Warning, now entering
So their
dark zone.
solution to make things fair was to to divide people by the size of their group. So solos versus solos, duo versus duo, trio versus trio, full squad versus full squad. So that's insane in itself. That is 4 different divisions. And then additionally, they would divide you further by if you wanted to play PvE or PvP. How fucking ridiculous. Absolutely mind-numbingly ridiculous. The whole point was that survival was you're in a giant fuck-all snowstorm.
Warning. Your division affiliation has been disavowed. You are now marked as rogue.
And you can't, like, you're not gonna escape by just, like, one sec, let me get on this guy. Oh. I'll show you my moves.
15 seconds.
Over here, you bastard. Oh my god. Ah, I missed the rope. Of course I missed it. They refused, though. They refused to... The thing is, the player base was really fickle, right? They wanted it to be fair, and they hated the fact that... I'm so sad I missed the rope. It's because I was ranting right before I got into that. Apologies. If you wanted the rope cut, I'm sorry. It's because the player base didn't understand what that game mode was supposed to be. And it's because most of the player base didn't understand what the Dark Zone was supposed to be. And they still don't. There's still complaints that the Dark Zone is unfair. That that the rogues are out here killing people. That people are cutting ropes and stealing stuff. Like, it hurts. It pains me. It pains me. But Survival was this absurd, ambitious project to take the Dark Zone and spread it over the entire game, essentially, the entire map. And it pissed so many people off that they essentially killed it to make it fair. They just divided everybody up so much. And the thing is, that's what's happening to the Dark Zone right now, but by choice of the player base, right? That's what the level 26 movement's all about. It's like, let's separate ourselves from the rest of the community, and because we don't like the current meta, and we don't know how to combat it, so we're gonna willingly remove ourselves from the end game. Right? Oh, there's a very ornery player right there. Oh, he's upset. Why are you upset, my guy? He got my TAC Authority gear mask. No, help. I thought he was gonna join my party. But yeah, you can't convince people, though. You can't convince them of what mechanically the Dark Zone's supposed to be. So how would you convince them that Survival, which is the expansion of the Dark Zone over the entirety of the map, is a good idea? You know, when people already don't like the idea of an unfair, unsafe environment. The thing was, like, the meta for Survival was just starting to take hold when they quote-unquote fixed it, right? Because in Survival, it was resource management, because you had to deal with the cold, because it was truly PvE. The PvE was very real. That cold element, and the septus. So there was need for medicine and need for so I'm about to face off against a striker. So there's need for medicine and a need for cold gear. And you had to distribute it amongst your party. So depending on the size of your squad, that meant, you know, problems for you if you had a big squad. So the meta... Oh, jeez. That sucks. Yeah, I end up with a lot of game crashes myself. But with Survival, the PvE actually made it so that the meta for the game, it actually favored having a smaller, tighter group because you could more efficiently manage your resources. Right? So you could be more nimble because the decision making in that game was restricted to maybe 2 people instead of 4. You know, it's the way that game worked. The meta was only just starting to form, where duos and trios were starting to really wreck people. But again, they decided in the sake of fairness. For the sake of fairness. Oh, he's got stacks too. Shit. I gotta keep running. He took the side road here. You cannot fight a striker with stacks. Don't let him do it. Not smart. Oh, my mask. Hey. I'm gonna take the high ground up here. I have skill haste, so I got my abilities back. Right behind me. Oh, no, you're not gonna... Oh, we did. Yep, striker. Still had stacks.
Fucking pussy, stop running.
Pussy, stop running. Running a sniper build. He's running striker. Dignity and respect, everybody. Dignity and respect. Pussy, stop running. Are you kidding me? This is what the meta is right now. This is striker. Your meathead striker meta. Congratulations. This is why I totally understand why people are going into level 29. Totally get it. I understand completely. I just wish it wouldn't kill the dark zone. Uh-oh, there he is again. Help. So all you gotta do is disrespect. Run away like a coward. Show it doesn't matter. They don't matter. Look at me run away from you. I'm running away. Because the PvP that he is performing right now has no importance. We're not fighting over a contamination event, a supply drop, anything really. And he's a... Are you actually a 10k striker? For real? He's on a glass cannon striker. Nifty. Go ahead, bud. Oh, he got me again. My dignity, my respect. Help. Did proc him, though. I'm telling you. Survival is one hell of a game mode if you can get enough people to play it. It's worth playing. It's worth running. I really thought he was going to fight me on that last one. I proc blue way too soon. Oh, no. Oh, he's coming for me again. He is... on something. What is he upset about? He's literally hunting me. What did I do? Oh no. I hope I didn't do anything to him earlier. Oh, he's coming around the other side. I think he's upset. I can't think of anything I've done to this gentleman. Have I done something to you? Are you okay?
Who, me?
Yeah. You seem upset.
Who's upset? I'm upset?
Yeah.
What makes you seem upset, man?
You're chasing me around a lot. I don't know what your deal is, my guy.
The PvP, man.
No. This is the dark zone. You're doing nothing at the moment. No. Oh, no, that ain't doing it. That's not how that works. He knows this trick. He knows this trick. So I found your kryptonite, eh? So he doesn't want to die. Nifty. Well, guess that engagement's over. So, hold on a second. It's running now. See, as soon as the tactical advantage is gained, suddenly the dignity, the respect, it's gone. Isn't that weird? So no, it's not all about face tanking, Proto. It's not about face tanking. It's about tactics. It's still all about tactics. Just because the tactics of the day, just because the tactics of the day involves, face tanking, doesn't mean you have to. That's why I highly recommend Firecrest, DeadEYE, Lone Star. Oh, all these fresh, and because it's so good. So good. Anything indirect or long range. Tacticians would be a solid play right now. Just tacticians, you can use sticky and you can use your seeker mines. And the same reason why I think Final Measure would be good, especially if you wanted to run an explosives build. I think it can be done. I'm not against it. I think it's a solid play. Look at the map. I'm going to try and get another rope in. I think what happened was I cut that dude's rope. Then he bust out his striker because he was sad that he died on his striker. And he was proud that he could beat someone in a 1v1 with it. And I'm glad he could. But I guess that's the whole story for survival and how it relates to DZ. I'm gonna make a giant fucking shitpost on Reddit tomorrow because Wednesdays are traditionally the days that everyone gets their rage out. I think on I think that's the day on the Division subreddit. So and for some reason I can't get any karma on that fucking website. Every time I post something, I get like 46% upvotes. It's a problem. But I'm going to make a post about the 26 movement and how it is potentially going to kill the Dark Zone. And how the devs have to rebalance Striker and fix PvP if they want to save the Dark Zone. Are there any other issues in the Dark Zone right now that I'm not thinking of that need to be addressed? I know that Predator's Mark does a fuckload of damage, but I think that specifically they have to land 10 hits in a row on a single person, and they play that they have to play that a certain way to make that work. Yeah. I feel like that's fine. I think Predator's mark is fine the way it is currently. Because they're flimsy. Because they end up putting so much in crit and crit damage. They end up losing a lot of their health procs. You know, like on the mods, on the gear attributes. Like, same deal for DeadEye. I mean, I'm putting a lot on my crit damage. Instead of using the major attributes for health. Like, especially on the knee pads, you lose a lot when you don't put health there. That's a high health rule. But you can't, you know, you can't really help that. But I think as soon as you fix that striker, you're gonna alleviate a lot of problems currently going on. But I understand that most people, especially the PvE players, are really gonna be miffed about it. Well, but that's why they have playtesters, right? That's why they have, you know, there's, I mean, you may not be wrong.
Backup activated.
I've seen them play. They play on difficulties that are
Caution. Entering dark zone.
not overly difficult and struggle.
Incoming supply
But,
drops. Calibrating landing zone coordinates.
I don't know, man. It's like, what ends up happening is the devs listen to the wrong people, is what happens. Because the wrong people right now are the biggest voices in the room. There's a lot of streamers out there that are making a lot of noise right now. I know that Wizzy right now is on that that bullshit, talking about, oh, the meta, the 29 movement, and it's like, motherfucker, don't make me come over there. Don't. You're causing me issues. Causing me issues. And I gotta mute this guy because he's causing me issues with copyright infringement. But ooh, I might quick flip this guy. Hey, let's do something stupid.
Ready to bring it on board.
It's called a quick flip.
Warning.
I'm probably gonna lose this fight.
Efficient. This action will mark you as rogue.
Ooh, I might have already won it.
30 seconds till extraction complete.
Oh, he's gone. Nice.
15
Quick
seconds.
flip.
Package may
Coming
be in
back.
agent hands.
Got him. There it is. Quick flip. That's that quick flip. It's a kick flip that happens so quick.
Agent, I am inbound on your position.
I don't think I've ever seen a dev do that before. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if a dev knows that's even possible. I don't know. That's the thing. Is like, I don't know how much people know is available to them in this game, so far as like the group mechanics, kick mechanics, team mechanics. I don't know. I don't know what people know. But it's our responsibility to tell people, to inform the devs, to inform the masses of what's going on and what can happen. I mean, it's up to us. If we can see the DZ suffering. Because it's obvious that people hate Striker. We're not gonna. That's not new,
Rogue status
right?
no longer active.
There's a lot of complaints about Predator's Mark, but that's because the they complain about Predator's Mark and Nomad. And you know who's complaining about Predator's Mark and Nomad? It's Striker. All these Striker players complaining about those two builds. They're complaining about it because those are only two competitive builds.
Now in progress. Warning.
Oh, there he goes again.
Your vicinity has gone rogue.
Can't be helped. He's upset. I'm gonna outrun him though. Don't do it. I get you again. Oh, there it is.
30 seconds till extraction complete.
Ah.
Confirmed. Cargo secured.
But I'm telling you, Striker stuff. You gotta fight that meta. This is one of the ways. This is one of them. Telling you. You can do it. We can help. P2H. Believe in me, believing in you, believing in me, believing in you. Let's fight the Striker Scourge together on the level 30 servers. We're doing it. We're not running away to no level 29 server. Fuck that shit. I'm staying. I'm fighting. Classy DeadEYE. I'm doing it. Believe. Do you like my MS Paint drawing? Does it work for you?
Supply drops will expire.
I'm kind of a fan.
30
I think it works.
seconds.
Do you like the tombstone on the right there? I put a little flower on it. And I drew an eye on it.
Kept alive, baby.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna convince a whole lot of people. that's the whole problem. Is I don't necessarily take this game seriously enough.
Supply drops have expired.
Like I'm not a PvP like master. I'm not. Like I literally go around fucking with people. Like that flip there. Like that's something I do. I trigger your status, I kick you from the group, I kill you, I take your stuff. That's a thing I do. I don't think anyone wants to listen to my opinion.
Warning.
Or at least,
You are now
you know,
entering
not
contaminated
the
area.
majority. I see that there's a few people who care. But
Exiting the contaminated area.
I don't know if there's enough of us, you know what I mean? I tend to think that the strong majority
Attention.
may frown upon what I do. And maybe even the mechanical side of what I do may be considered toxic at times, even though it's strictly mechanics. Which is a shame. Shouldn't be that way. Gotta expand your boundaries, lower your standards. Kick somebody, take their stuff. It's not theirs yet, they didn't extract it. Doesn't have their name on it. Yeah. I don't know. I may just be a crazy person on the internet. That's the other problem too. Just maybe another maybe another person just screaming at their screen from time to time. So I don't even know how to judge my own opinion. Is my voice soothing? Does it work for you?
Hey, stupid. Over here.
I'm glad you got something done today. Oh shit. What is okay, we sold it. I thought I was losing my mind there. I didn't even remember selling it there. Oh well. Yeah, I think just rustling feathers on Reddit. Well, that's the thing is I'm gonna start causing a little more of a ruckus. Is I had forgotten that people, because I had incidentally ran into a few streamers like a month or two ago. It's been, and one of their
What are you waiting
viewers had recognized me, and it was from Reddit, from my BoomTube video, because I guess that was a popular build at some point. So I'm thinking, well, maybe if I start posting on Reddit again and start just shit posting like a monster, pissing everybody off, maybe I can start having a relevant voice. Not necessarily with the streaming, because clearly we're not there yet at all on the streaming side of things. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I got the annotations. I got the resolution thing right now. After a year or so of streaming, we're finally to the point where I can, direct people to things, in a somewhat reasonable fashion. But I think what's important is to guide people toward doing the right things and informing them when they are going to potentially do something detrimental to the community at large and to themselves. I think, but I don't know how to compete with voices like Wizzy, Other than finding Wizzy on a server, stomping his shit in, dancing on his grave, and then, spewing my nonsense live on his stream. That's the only. I have no other means. I can't think of anything else right now. So I think the next move is to befriend Wizzy. Is what I'm saying. No, I think Wizzy plays on console. That's the other thing too. Is a lot of these other streamers are on different platforms, so they are out of my reach, or they're on another continent, like say a one Marco Style, who's been on my list for a while. Oh man, what Marco did. Marco. What Marco did to get this fucking patch made me extraordinarily upset. He would go around cutting ropes, and he'd say, "Please don't shoot me. I'm cutting this rope, and I do not intend to take any of your stuff." And he wouldn't take their stuff after he'd cut the rope, even after he killed them if they shot him. And the thing, it is not, like, look at this. Look at it. I'll take that, thanks. Ruthless. The goddamn flying knife. The knife with goddamn wings on it. And Marco Styles running around making a fucking mockery of the Ruthless badge. He's been on my shit list for a while for the stupid things he does. I love his videos when he's doing analysis and stuff, but when he's in the dark zone, being a schmuck, and he's like 4v the server against a bunch of Russian dudes for no reason. I want to be that guy with the DeadEYE sitting in back taking his head off. Dancing on his grave. I want to be that guy.
What are you?
I got a point to prove. I have a message to send. I want to save this game from the stupidity and the self-destruction that inevitably comes from the community at times. It's a problem. I'm here to help. Give me your stuff.
Transmission is jammed. Proximity coverage.
This is a stick-up.
System rebooted.
I don't know, man. It's very... I have so many conflicting, confused feelings about the Dark Zone. I'm stealing stuff constantly, but I really care about how well people are doing when they're farming. Like, I really hope you're having a good time in here, so you come back so I can attempt to rob you again. Like, there's a very, very mixed emotions. Turret's going up.
Warning. Your division affiliation has been disavowed. You are now marked as rogue.
Got him. Didn't get the rope, I was late. Oh, there's someone else behind me. Ooh, got me. Another green proc. I should have laid off as soon as he procced green. I'm getting my own mechanics down too. Oh, he's got... Ah, look at him. Look at the badge he's flying. Yeah. Yeah, I know what he was there for. He was late too, though. If only he had shown up on time. Yo, Ruthless Brothers. Hey. Hey, I'm about that life. I believe in him. He'll get it done.
Confirmed. Rogue status no longer active.
You're dead.
Well, I'm glad you guys stuck around as long as you have. I know these early morning streams are, I guess it's not really early. Depends on what coast you're on. Like, I do it right around noon. But, I appreciate you stopping in, saying hi, listening to me rant, ramble, rave. I definitely have a lot of words to say about this game. A lot of opinions that are very strong. The thing is, I'm not opposed to other people having differing opinions from me. I hope I don't scare people off when I start ranting and raving like a lunatic. That's the other thing is, like, I prefer discussion, you know, debate. Because I think there's good points to be made on both sides, especially when it comes to this, you know, level 29 issue. Because I have conflicting thoughts on it myself. So, I feel you know, obligated to talk about it at length.
Stupid. Over here.
And that's why I'm going to shitpost on Reddit. Probably tomorrow morning. what am I gonna do Thursday? Here's what I'm gonna do Thursday. This build. Okay, this build. Hey, do you know if level 26 they have gear sets? Do they have the 4-piece? I don't know if they have like greens. Do they have like basic 4-piece greens? Because I know they don't have classifieds, and I'm pretty sure they don't have exotics. So I'm gonna do a build video pretty soon. But I don't know the specifics on. I don't know, man. I gotta do some research. I need to figure out the fuck is available at level 29, I guess. I may have to make a fucking level 29 character, which chafes me. Chafes my boots. Shit. Can't really understand a meta unless you're in it. Alright. But I want to do like a snapshot of this build. Like a nice, concise 5-minute long video. Shows you the build. And then maybe play a highlight or two of the build in action afterwards. And then call it a day. So that we have something that people can use. That's the idea. The Dream Workshops are a little too thick, I think. A little too much on the mechanic side. But that's fine. I'll still do those. But I'll do those at the beginning of the week. And then at the end of the week, I'll do the snapshot and show people the completed build. And that'll be the end of that. I think that's the game plan. Other than that, I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. I think we did a good job. Classy DeadEYE. Solid plays. Nothing too crazy. I think, oh, by the way, for the record, it's been my 11 a.m. broadcast on Twitch. May 15th, 2018. This has been the Classy DeadEYE. I've been P2H. You have been a schmuck. You gotta lie, cheat, and steal, because somebody has to win, and it should be you. If you liked what you saw, please follow or subscribe, depending on where you're watching this. And if you're on YouTube, related videos should it be in the annotations and related playlist. P2H, out.